Leave Billified a voicemail anytime on the Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram line at 585-206-8866.
God damn it, Bill. I'm a little disappointed. I'm disappointed in you. I'm disappointed in Kevin, especially because sometimes, even though he's a Patriots fan, he can't be the voice of reason. You all are expecting a dog to eat somebody's dick and for it to be shit out in the same shape it freaking went in. Why don't you eat a steak and see what it comes out as? See ya.
And be sure to like and subscribe to Billified wherever you get your podcast.
I am going to defend myself. I have seen puppies, dogs eat. No, a sock. I told you the shoe sock came out. My dad had the knot was stuck, so he had to pull it out of the dog.
Oh, the knot was stuck.
Yes.
I wish the dog
the knot in the knot.
Okay.
The knot in the knot. Hey, by the way, today is National Oreo Cookie Day.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
Dad's gonna have a sleeve when he gets home.
Yes.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
I never really was a huge fan of Oreo cookies, and one of the reasons I wasn't was this girl always brought them in third grade, and she had braces in third grade, and they would get stuck, and she'd smile at you, and I hated it. It was like gross. I can remember her name.
I've done it.
Dawn Osmond.
I thought it was going to be that your mom bought the cheap stuff. She bought them Hydrox ones.
Oh, no, that was my grandmother.
Those are terrible.
And my grandmother then would send in the things, and we had Hydrox socks. If you sent back enough of the things, you got
symbols, yes.
You got Hydrox socks. So we all got Hydrox socks. Yeah.
And she thought she was doing the family a favor.
I just bought Brady 7-Eleven socks because he loves Slurpees, so I bought him 7-Eleven socks.
That's funny.
Those are awesome.
Yeah, that's funny. That's cute. The Hydrox socks. I think my mother gave birth to my sister wearing Hydrox socks. I'm not kidding. I'm pretty sure that that's true. The cookie founder's name is Sam Porcello. Was often referred to as Mr. Oreo. Sam J. Porcello, after he introduced this sugary snack. The original recipe called for pork fat. How about that? Oh. So it was pork fat between the cookies. It's a fucking heart attack, dude. I'd love to know how long Porcello lived.
Do you think he's rolling over in his grave with all the new, like, double stuff, the mega stuff, the red velvet, the lemon?
I don't know.
Wait,
they do red velvet?
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah.
See, I like the vanilla. I think I had vanilla. I ate some edibles and then had Oreo cookies, and I couldn't stop eating the Oreo cookies. I like
the half and half. One side chocolate, one side vanilla.
Oh, haven't had that.
Yeah, the mulatto Oreo.
Oh, I like that.
You know who has a healthier version? Paul Newman.
Yeah. Oh, he does. Yeah, sure.
Go to hell with your healthy cookies.
It's boring.
Yeah, it is boring. I know.
All right. What year did Double Stuffed debut? What year did Double Stuffed?
1989.
89.
73.
You're the closest, 75.
Wow, okay.
I didn't know that. The original recipe didn't change much over the years until the favorite double stuffed Oreo cookie was introduced. But lard was a central ingredient in making the Oreo cookie early in the day.
Lard was big back in the day.
Yeah.
It still is at the Waffle House. If you go into Waffle House, don't they just scoop it on there? That scene of My Cousin Vinny?
Yeah.
Are you aware of the ongoing cholesterol problem in this country?
Oreo cookies are sold in over 100 countries. Outside of the United States, can you name the 4 other countries in the world where it's one of the top 5 countries where they're sold? United States, number 1.
Canada.
Canada is 4th.
China.
Number 2.
Spain.
No. The other 2 are hard to come up with. The other 2.
Venezuela.
Oh, my God. Shut the fuck up. Did you look?
No, I just
Number 3 is Venezuela.
I just picked a random.
They got to give them something to look forward to because there's nothing else to do in Venezuela.
How do you know? You've never been there.
It's in the news all the time. I mean, it can't be good.
All right. So United States, China, Venezuela, Canada. There's one more. Number 5.
Djibouti?
Uruguay.
Indonesia.
Yeah,
I mean, right. But it'd be one that you wouldn't really come up with. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Just little facts about the Oreo.
Now, here's the thing, though. Like, do they have all the same ingredients that they have in the United States?
I believe so. I believe it's the same cookies that they go around the world.
Because,
I'm sure.
If you take a bottle of Heinz in France and a bottle of Heinz in the United States, the bottle of Heinz only has like 4, in France only has like 4 or 5 ingredients.
I don't know the answer to that. You're right. Sometimes they will adjust, and depending on, but I guess whatever their version of the FDA would be, I'm not sure.
Speaking of the FDA, I had to do this for your own benefit. Remember last week we talked about soap? And you like Coast?
Yes.
Okay, I found Coast at Wegmans.
Yes.
In Henrietta. I looked up how poisonous it is. It's at an 8 out of scale of 1 to 10 as far as
That's why
poison.
you got shit on your face.
The cheaper the soap, right, the more poisonous it is.
The fuck is this poison shit you're talking about?
I'm telling you, like if you go to this website or this app, Think Dirty, it'll tell you, like, if you're on the barcode, like from a scale from 0 to 10, how poisonous the product is.
I love Coast.
0 being not poisonous at all, 10 being the most poisonous thing you can put on your body. Coast is in an 8.
Do you have the app on your phone right now?
Yeah, I do.
Scan his water.
No, I think it's like cleaning products and stuff like that. It's not. I don't think it does.
Water's fine.
I'm trying to debunk this app real quick.
I'm not trying to. Okay. I mean, this is all right. Here, Think Dirty.
All right.
Right. I'm going to try to scan the barcode.
Dirty.
And we'll see what it is. I don't think it does water, but let's just for the heck of it. Yes, please scan a beauty or personal care product. So it doesn't do water.
Hold on.
What's a beauty product?
We got soap.
Where do we have soap?
We have soap?
Oh, we have soap. We have like Dawn dish soap.
We got hand sanitizer.
And hand sanitizer.
Okay, actually, I can show you. See, like, this is all the stuff that I scanned. See Coast?
Yes,
it's number 8.
All right, so what's the best?
The best is like that stuff that, the expensive crap. Like the
shit you get out of the river.
Dr. Squatch, which is like a 3.
Dr. Squatch was a 3?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'll buy some.
Which isn't bad.
Maybe I'll buy some Dr. Squatch.
Like Dollar Shave Club shaving cream is like an 8.
Yeah.
Jack Black's at a 5. Old Spice is at an 8. That CeraVe stuff, you got to be careful with that too.
What
That's
about
up there.
what about
Dove?
Yeah.
I use Dove.
I didn't measure Dove.
Free and clear.
Let me look at the
Dawn.
The Dawn stuff. Let's see if like Dawn registers.
All right, Dawn. Here we go. Dawn on a scale
With
of
the duck
poison.
on the cover.
I'm pissed. I like Coast.
Oh, keep using it. Don't let Danny scare you.
Dawn. It says I got to like unlock it with a free trial. I have to pay for it, so it won't show me like how.
How many do you get a day that are free? Or did you already use up your
I think
free?
I might have just used my free one, but let me do the Purell real quick and see if I can get that.
You're not going to get it.
Purell, again, free trial. So it's not unlocked. So you only get so many freebies a day.
Fake news over here.
Well, I don't know.
I'm trying to protect you people.
The masses.
I hear you.
I'm trying to protect you. Like Billy, he just had something removed off his face.
Yes.
Maybe because he's using Coast. Coast.
No, probably because I laid in the sun as a kid or was out in the sun without sunscreen.
Or something else was on his face when he was younger.
Well, that could be too. That's right.
So, just looking out for you
something
people.
else in my face. Whipped cream. Cake.
Vagine.
Beer.
Hydrox.
All right. Encounter with a stranger. I'm going to read these. This is some weird weird encounters. This was on BuzzFeed. Sitting with a Tinder date, this person writes. I go to sip the drink he just brought back. The waitress bumped into me, spilling it. She apologized profusely, then escorted me to the restroom to quote-unquote clean up, where she informed me the date had dropped something into my glass. Police were on the way. Stranger probably saved my life.
Huh.
How weird would that be? First of all, that waitress, that's where you got to give her a huge tip. But how often do we think people are dropping some kind of roofie in someone else's?
At least as a guy, I've never thought about it at all.
I've never thought about it either.
But you and I know somebody who we worked with.
We do.
That happened to her.
Yes, we do.
I went home with a nasty headache after going out with Greg the other night.
A new study published in the journal Psychology of Violence.
They have a psychology for that?
Psychology of Violence. On Monday, suggests drink spiking, drugging someone by illicitly slipping a drug like GHB or Xanax into a Xanax.
Makes you sleepy.
Yeah, I know. May be significantly more widespread than previous believed. Now, they did a survey of 6,000 students at 3 U.S. universities. 462 people responded, and 7.8% self-reported that they had been drugged before.
Wow.
That seems high.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, but I go, how do you know that it's not just a hangover?
What if this waitress is just a scorned lover of this gentleman, and he's bringing this new girl in to stick it to her?
I don't know, because
she's just being a bitch.
They don't give you any more details in this Reddit thing. So I'm assuming that the guy probably got arrested and she's telling the truth. But you're right. I don't know. Of those who reported having been drugged, 12.1% reported being the victims of unwanted sexual touching. Okay, because you're not able to resist as much. And 5.4% reported that what study authors term forced sexual intercourse. That would be like having necrophilia, right? If somebody's on all Xanaxed out.
Yeah, why would you want to do that?
And I don't know what GHB does, but I would assume something just as similar.
Watch every episode of Law & Order SVU. You'll figure it out real quick.
That or NCIS.
No, NCIS is crimes against the Navy.
I'm sorry.
That's more like sexual stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So University of South Carolina women's studies professor Suzanne Swan led the study, told the website Broadly, I guess it's called, that she, like many long, assumed this type of infraction was extremely rare. And she said, I had no idea that drink spiking was happening until students started bringing it up from time to time. Since there's hardly any research in this area, I decided to get some data and figure out what was going on. Wow.
That's pretty scary. That's very, very scary.
But I've never been, as a guy, I don't think we think about it, right? No. I wouldn't think about it. Do you ever?
I wouldn't even know where to get the stuff.
Well,
No, I'm saying like...
Or do it.
I don't even mean that. I don't mean like we'd be the ones to do it. I'm saying I don't ever think that my drink could get spiked.
Look at me. Nobody's roofing me.
If anybody puts anything in your drink, it's for a
they're going
prank.
to tranquilize you.
I'm going to get hit with a blow dart gun first.
Yeah.
Right in the neck.
Yeah, it'd be like a prank, like putting farting powder in your father's coffee.
Yes.
It'd be like one of those types of things. It wouldn't be like trying to like seduce a dude, you know?
No.
I mean, or trying to steal their money, maybe. I don't know. I mean, there was those stupid urban legends about like medical students who try to remove a kidney. We all know that's BS. But I mean,
Dan? Did you believe that for a while?
No.
Did you believe that conspiracy a little bit?
Somebody said that at Fisher once, and we all were like, "Come on, get on."
That's bullshit. But shit in a glitter box in high school's not.
But yeah, I mean, like I don't think of that stuff. I was told by my cousin before I left for college. He goes, "You have a drink in your hand, you put it down. Don't plan on picking it back up."
That's
Ever.
a good point because, look, someone could spit in it, do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to love to go to Patham's, and I would stand right next to the wall, pee in a cup, and then put it up on. They had that thin little rail that went around.
Yeah.
And I used to. It was the color of beer, and I used to love to watch somebody and go, "Oh my God, it's warm!" And then I'd start laughing. I would pee in cups and leave it there
because it would look like
because that is the level.
Thank
of
God
maturity.
there wasn't social media back then. Because you'd be in fucking jail.
God.
In the pre-med student.
You know what? You might be. No one drank it. I wouldn't let anybody drink it. And I think I did take it to. Well, not always, but I think I did take it to the bathroom and flush it.
Yeah.
But I used to right there in Patham's whip it out while no one was looking and
there were like no rules at Patham's.
I don't know if you get arrested for not drinking or just whooping your dick out in public.
Well, that's true too. That's true too.
Pre-med student comes by. Hey, Bill, that's awfully foamy. You may want to drink more water.
There's a mole on your dick. Let's cut that off.
Yeah, I got here's another one. I got in an elevator at a mall with a woman about twice my age when I was 20. We stood in silence to the third floor. When she went to get off the elevator, she turned to me and smiled and said, "Have a nice life." And we walked in opposite directions. I think about that woman often because of that line. Did you ever have restraint? Like, well, think about this. If somebody, like a stranger says that to you, that would be weird. But it wouldn't bother you. But if you had a friend that got off the elevator and goes, "Have a nice life," you'd be like, "What? I'm not going to talk to you on Tuesday? What's going on?"
Yeah, like, are you dying? What's going on? I had a teacher once, a student teacher. I said that to. She was in music class. We knew it was her last day, so I didn't know what else to say to her. I said, "Well, have a nice life." And
you said that to who?
To the student teacher, because it was her last day teaching. And I said, "Have a nice life." And I didn't know that I was saying anything wrong. I was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
I thought that would be appropriate because I was never going to see this teacher again.
It might be.
And she was like, "Oh, thanks, Dan."
Well, it's kind of sad.
Asshole.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize that what was meant by that.
And we're back to Dan being autistic.
Was the stranger good looking in this?
I don't know.
scenario?
This is all that's written on the BuzzFeed. So I don't want to, like, we can assume all the other stuff. I have no idea. Here's one, though, that'll freak you out a little bit. This is pretty good.
Does it make you wish you want to talk to her? You would have talked to her if she had said
No, this
that?
person, what? Have a nice life?
Yeah.
Well,
Because now I'm like wondering, like, what okay.
what does she know that I don't know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or was she really there?
Or was she, yeah. It's just something that this person said
Maybe
they think
the
about
person
often.
got roofied in this one from the last one.
All right. I was working a service counter in retail in 1998 expecting my first baby. A young man, very skinny and dressed in brown, came in.
The UPS guy.
Stood several feet back from the counter and looked at me. I greeted him a few times, and he didn't react. You know, like, hey, can I help you? Hello. After several minutes, he came forward and said very quickly, you're 6 months pregnant, and you're going to have a boy. The dad's not around, but that's okay. You got this. The baby's coming very soon, early, but don't worry. He'll do good. Before I could say anything, he left the store. He was right about everything.
Wow. No kidding.
Yeah. That would freak you out.
Yeah, that would freak me out.
That would freak you. That would freak you.
It was like an angel walking in. And
would you think angel or would you think devil?
I would, if it were true,
Danny?
I think it would be, a devil wouldn't want to approach me. Somebody with a spirit they don't want to approach. But an angel? Possibly. They're telling me to warn me about something.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's going to be okay.
In a way, isn't that nice to know?
It is nice to know.
I think she made it up.
Well, of course you do. Of course you do.
You have to believe in this stuff, Kevin.
Well, you don't have to believe in anything.
No, I mean, I'm saying people don't just share this stuff just to make stuff up just for. Oh, I'm not saying it's religious or whatnot.
This is on BuzzFeed. He may be right. They could be making it up completely. But I'm trying to think. I know I've had encounters with strangers, but I can't. Nothing that was super memorable that I can think of.
Mm-hmm. Now, I do know of
just a couple good one night stands for me.
Did you have a couple good night stands with strangers?
I don't know.
So I don't believe.
Did you ever not know someone's name that you slept with? Like you didn't even know their name?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Danny?
My no.
You knew everybody's name?
Yeah.
But you knew their whole backstory. Come on.
My wife told me a story. I'm not a fan of mediums or anything like that. Or they call them media. I don't know. But anyway, mediums.
I'm a medium.
She was at an event once, and this one guy who happened to be a medium was there at a party, and he noticed her kind of standing by herself, and he goes, "You okay?" And she started telling the person about like her life situation, what's going on, how she'd been divorced, she was seeing another guy or seeing someone, and that wasn't going well, and then there's this other guy she was interested in, that wasn't going well, and he goes, "Listen. Don't worry about the two guys that you hung up on or your ex-husband. Another one's coming." That another one that was coming
is you.
Ended up being me. Yeah.
All over her face.
What you said that word? I didn't mean it like that, Billy.
And all she said was, "God damn it."
All right, one more. Strangers, encounters with a stranger. This person writes, when I was 15, I used to ride the bus for 5 hours and 35 miles every Friday so that I could practice with my band. It was actually 4 different bus changes, so I ran into a lot of colorful characters. It was a city bus in a major metropolitan area. Well, one time, this older, homeless, eccentric-looking gentleman boarded the bus with a bottle of wine in a brown paper bag. His lips were stained. He was clearly drunk, but not to the point of being a problem or anything. He sat across the aisle from me, and I was thinking, oh, great, here we go. But he was calm, and eventually we started conversing. I was uncomfortable at first, but we discussed some interesting things and shared our philosophies. After a while, his stop came up. This man, who I'd never met before and who knew nothing about my background, stood up and took my hand in his and kissed it. Now, at first, I was thinking, great, this guy's a creep who's into 15-year-old boys. But then I looked into his eyes and realized he wasn't being creepy at all. There was no devious intention. He looked at me and said, I know the pain you are feeling. You lost your mother. Do not despair. She is with you. Then he explained, and I've never heard of this, and I didn't even look it up. I'm a seraphim of the highest order. Seraphim of the highest order.
Seraphim and cherubim are like in the Bible. They're like angels or angelic creatures.
Okay, so I'm a seraphim of the highest order. I'm not familiar. And did a sort of theatrical curtsy and walked off the bus. I was left dumbfounded. The thing is, my mother had passed away from cancer less than a year before that. I was feeling completely lost without her. It was the darkest time of my life. He was this random homeless man, knew this about me. How this random homeless man knew this about me, I'll never know. He was like a character from the movie Dogma. Maybe he really was a seraphim of the highest order. It still gives me chills thinking about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean that would be a little freaky.
Do you think that there's angels that come down?
I believe in angels. Yes, that can warn you stuff or tell you about things. Yeah. I don't know that they would come in the appearance of drunkards, but I mean, I do believe that, yes, absolutely.
But like acting, this is why he's on the bus. Nobody else. I'm here to talk just to Dan.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring a lot of attention to myself. People are not going to pay. It's that homeless guy.
So he's dressed up in a certain way.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that. I can totally see that.
And the only message is everything's going to be okay.
I mean, I've heard of a story where there was this one girl whom she got jumped by a couple of guys and, was assaulted, right? And so another woman, so they show it on the news that this woman had been assaulted. They described the person and where it happened. This girl was watching on television, sees this. She goes, I know the guy. I know exactly what she's talking about. So she goes and picks the guy out of a lineup and says, that's the guy. And then she goes, can I talk to him? And the police are like, why do you want to talk to him? Because I walked by him and he didn't attack me. So she goes, sure.
Oh, are you offended?
No, she goes, why didn't you?
Wait, I'm not that hot.
She goes, I walked right by you. She goes, and the guy goes, yeah, you were with two men. I didn't want to rustle two guys. She goes, I was walking by myself. In other words, there were two guardian angels around her. She walked by, and this guy sees them. He's like, well, I'm not going to mess with her. She's with two guys. Does that make sense?
This sounds a little made up that she would then want to go talk to him and find out. I don't, but it could be. Here's the thing that I think. You ever look back on a situation whenever it's over, whatever the situation is, maybe financial, maybe relationship, maybe like what Beth was told.
Yeah.
Right? She's got a guy, it's not going well, a divorce, another guy she's sort of interested in, and somebody says, but when you look back, everything always works out. It may not work out the way you think it is in the back then, but most of the time it works out better. And that's what I was saying earlier. And stop banging your head against the wall and just believe. Just believe that it's all going to work out, because I do think everything pretty much works out.
Yeah.
I think there's some tough things that we don't fully understand in our human capability. I think death is one of those. And both of you guys have gone through something I've never gone through: the loss of parent.
Yes.
Right. That can turn your on your head, your world on your head.
Absolutely.
Really
it was a rough time.
I'm sure, and I'm sure.
And I've lost
it's rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah, I've lost a sibling too. I mean, it's something that it's one thing also when you see it coming. Like my father, we knew he had cancer. It was just a matter of time.
Yes.
With my sister, it was like
sudden.
Dropped dead after a Bills game.
Yeah,
we're like, whoa.
Well, I don't know what's the better one. I don't know, because the pain has to be the same for both, even whether you can prepare for it or not. I don't know.
There's no way to measure it.
I guess
there's no way to measure it.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. I think it's different when it's a parent, because the parent raised you your entire life. Your sister, in my case, she lived so far away and we didn't live in the same house. She was my father's daughter from a previous marriage.
Yes.
Right. So while we were close, we didn't have that everyday relationship. We weren't growing up together.
Right.
So it was a little bit different, I mean, if I lost one of my siblings now, I'd be just as devastated, maybe more devastated. I don't know.
Right.
Especially if it happened all of a sudden. Yeah. It's another thing when, at least when you find out.
Don't worry, you're going to be the first sibling to go.
Well,
don't you think?
At least if it's like a terminal illness, now you got time to prepare for.
You do. I just don't know. I don't know when it does happen.
If it's me that's dying, I want the quick. I don't want the terminal. I don't want the long distance. I want to go tomorrow.
Yes, I can understand that from your point. I'm just saying, for your kids and stuff, to prepare for it. I don't know when the final thing actually happens, even though it's coming more so than you did for your sister. Does it make when it actually happens any less painful?
I think you start overthinking it at a certain point. If dad just goes, he just goes.
Yeah.
The other thing too is when
I've had both situations. My mom just went and my dad lasted, and it was a little bit easier with my mother because it was gone.
Yeah.
There was nothing I could think about it with it. What could we do different, or what else could we do? Or
when you know it's coming, it's like Kevin said, you go through the stages of grief too, like bargaining, denial, acceptance, and all that stuff, and you fluctuate between those. Yeah. Hey, what can I do? Is there something I could have done, or it's difficult.
I didn't mean to make it heavy, but
that's what we're here for.
But I think my point with this too, though, goes back to let's take Beth's situation where the guy says to her, "Hey, whatever's going, stop banging your head against the wall.
Let life come to you."
That's why I'm saying go back to the thing. If you're looking for a connection, if she was looking for a connection with somebody, stop banging your head against the wall and trying to make something work that just isn't going to.
Mm-hmm.
Something better, something that does fit everything you want is there. Just let it come in. Just let it come in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I really believe that that's the thing, and but we'll get ourselves all twisted about it. Look, then just because that's what I'm saying is like the players probably will change. Right? Mm-hmm. If you feel like you're banging your head against the wall, you are banging your head against the wall. That is true. You are. You're frustrated. It's not working. Stop. If you're looking for, like, your job, you know, I don't like my job. You want to go someplace where you feel like you're valued and you can have creativity and all that, go back to those base feelings. It may not be the place you think you're going to go. You may find an even better place than you are now. Same thing with the relationship. That's the thing. That's where I go, I don't know why. I've been thinking about that a lot in the last 24 hours, and I'm just like, I'm not forcing shit anymore. Fuck it. I don't care.
Like Van Wilder says, don't take life serious.
Yes.
You'll never get out alive.
That's right.
That's one thing. Yeah, don't take yourself nor life too seriously. I will say this, though.
Yes.
You mentioned these stories about people who are telling people. Now, they went and found these people. They didn't accept any money for it. They actually just kind of tipped them off to what's going to happen. These stories. There are people who are charlatans who try to take people's money.
Yes.
So I have a plan. So between the three of us, we should have a safe word where we know if this person's ripping us off. Like if one of us should pass, we go to the medium and they try to communicate with one of us, and we have the safe word, and we know if they're full of crap by using this safe word. So we ask about the safe word, and if that safe word isn't used, then we know that they're full of it. I think that's a great foolproof plan.
AFib.
I like that. I like that as the word.
Okay,
I like
AFib. That's the word.
All right, we'll take a moment. An advice thing that I didn't get to, I think it was last week. I dug that up again, and we will get to that next. But first.